Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about saving money and paying off your debt faster because, as you know, we've been living here on this island on a very small budget. So there were days, actually years, when we lived on just half an income, then one income, and right now we're living on one income and a half, and we're saving a lot of money because we have a bit of debts to pay off. And just in this year alone, living on just over one income, the two of us and our 5 animals, we managed to pay off €3,500, which I think is an amazing achievement. So in this video, I'm going to share all the little things that we do on a daily basis in our life to save as much money as possible, but still enjoy our life. So let's get started. So the first thing that you might have already noticed whenever I show our home in a video, in what I eat today video or my cleaning routine video, but basically we don't have a TV, and we haven't had a TV for years. Actually, we've never had a TV living together. And for the same reason, we also don't have cable, and cable can cost a fortune. So we actually saving so much money because obviously by not having a TV, we end up having a lot more time to actually do something productive and earn more money and achieve our dreams. But at the same time, we don't have to pay for expensive cable or satellite TV or whatever it is. And what do we use instead to follow the news? Of course, the internet and YouTube, because it's free. And also for movies, Netflix is great. I think it's only around $10 a month, which is really nothing, and you have access to so many movies. So there's really no reason to pay so much for cable TV in the 21st century. I just think it's something completely outdated by now. For the same reason, of course, there's no point in subscribing to any kind of magazines or newspapers, because you have everything online, usually for free or for just a fraction of the price. So it's definitely worth doing that. Even my dad, who's almost 80 years old, reads all his newspapers online, which I think is amazing. So if he can do that, then you definitely can do that too. One thing we have been doing for the last few years since we started our simple life and since we started saving money is never ever buy any clothes, shoes or bags full price. So I haven't bought anything full price for 5 years at least. I only buy things twice a year during the seasonal sale. So end of December, end of January, and then end of June to end of July. That's when the sales happen. And those 2 times are the only times of the year when we actually go to the shopping malls and we shop for whatever we need. And generally our budget is really small. We just literally stock up on something, on the things that we actually really need. So we generally spend between 150 to 200 euro for both of us twice a year. So it's just around 300 to 400 euro a year for the clothes for both of us, which I think works really well for us. And to be honest, I always shop for classic pieces that I'll be able to wear for years and nobody will be able to tell which season they come from. I stopped buying super trendy seasonal pieces ages ago, because what's the point of buying something that will only last you for one season and then no more? There's just no point. The next tip is more for shopping for food. And when you have a sale for something, like a special deal for some kind of food, like let's say pasta, rice, or let's say some kind of meat or fish, buy in bulk and freeze or keep it for the future, because you're going to save so much money. And then the next tip that is very similar is always buy things from the same farmers when you go to the farmers market, because they will start recognizing you and they will either start giving you little discounts, especially if you ask them for your loyalty, or at least they will give you some things for free. So whenever I buy, let's say tomatoes, they will put a couple of more tomatoes in my bag, or if I'm buying lettuce, they will put another head of lettuce in my bag for free, which is really nice, and it also saves me lots of money. Another thing related to farmers market shopping is try to go there just before closing, because that's when all the best bargains can be found. And if you don't ask, they might not even offer those special deals, but they really need to sell those things, or otherwise they'll just have to throw them away. So don't be shy to ask them for discounts and special prices, and often you can get things half price just before closing time in farmers market. Of course, if you need specific things, then it's not worth doing that. But if you don't mind a bit of a surprise factor, and you don't really care what you find, if you're kind of easygoing and you'll be happy with whatever you can find, then it's definitely worth going just before closing time. Next tip is don't ever go shopping for food when you're hungry, because you'll just buy all the processed and sweet stuff and all the things you don't even need, because you'll be thinking with your stomach and not with your brain. So always go when you're full, and also never go without a list, and stick to the list, because otherwise you'll end up buying a lot of things that you don't actually need, and you'll overspend on your food bill badly. Next tip is extremely important and will save lots of money, and it's don't sign up for the gym. If you watch my What I Eat Today videos, I always include a little workout, a little daily workout that I do, and as you can see, I always do them at home. I never ever go to the gym. I haven't had a gym membership for years, and that saves me loads of money every single month. All I do is just pay for the special app, which I think is around €5 or €6 a month, and I get proper workout routines for every single month, and I can choose whatever I want to do, and it's so much fun because I always do different things and I don't have to spend money, which is amazing. And all you need is really just some weights maybe and a yoga mat, and you can do pretty much anything at home. Next tip is don't ever buy a brand new car from the salon. We've never bought a brand new car from the salon, and I'd like to say that we will probably never buy a car from the salon, even though I don't like saying never, but you never know. But unless you're a millionaire, like a multi-millionaire, and you really have too much money and you don't care about losing money, you should not buy a brand new car, because the moment the car leaves the salon, it literally loses 30% of the value, which is insane. It's like the best way to lose money. You know, instead buy a few years old car, or even a 10-15-year-old car, because that's what we do. We always buy cars that are already 10 or 15 years old, then we use them for a couple of years or 2 or 3 years, and then we sell them without losing too much money. And then while you're using that old car, you can save up money for the next one, so that when you sell your car, the previous car, with not much loss, you can actually add that money that you sold, that you've saved, and you can buy a much nicer car next time. And then while using that one, you're going to save some money, and then when you sell that one again, you're going to have even more money to buy the next car, and so you can actually build it up to quite a nice car without having any kind of car loans, which is priceless. The whole aim is to be without loans, because loans are stressful and they suck so much money out of your budget. Next, try to either learn how to cut your hair, and my husband cuts his own hair. I used to cut his hair, but he actually does it better himself, and it looks brilliant. It actually looks better than any barber's style, and he saves around €10 every single time, so €10 saved every month. If you are a girl, you can also learn how to cut your own hair. I can't, because my hair is curly and it's not so easy to cut properly, so I go to the hair salon, but I try to go as real as possible and try to drag it out as much as possible. So I only go every 6 months, and so that only comes up to €50 a year, which is really not much. Try maybe not to dye your hair at the salon. There are so many natural dyes that you can use, like henna, indigo, and the mixture of the two, so you can get so many different colors at home without spending any money, or just embrace the natural color, because most people actually have a beautiful hair color, and I don't know what it is that so many people want something that they don't have. We really need to learn how to be happy with what we have, I think. And that will save us lots of money and will make us much, much happier. Next tip is, if you buy supplements, any kind of minerals or herbs, look online on places like Amazon or iHerb, because if you go to your local health shop, you will pay double the price. Even when you add shipping charges, it's still going to be so much cheaper, especially iHerb. It is awesome, and it saves me so much money every single time. Next tip is really a tip about minimalism and being happy with what you have. So often we watch YouTube videos or see what our friends have or what our neighbors have or family members have, and we want those things too. But it doesn't make us any happier if we can only have those things by getting lots of debts, or if we're spending all of our money, all of our salary, and then we have nothing to put away. So try to be happy with what you have. In most cases, if you look around, you'll realize that you already have enough. You already have everything you need. And the truth is that so often we buy things just because we think that they will make us happier. It's kind of like running away from yourself. But you must realize that you can't run away from yourself, no matter where you go, no matter what kind of beautiful things you surround yourself with. If you're not happy inside, if you don't have that happy place inside you, you will never be happy, and you always want more and more and more. So just look around count your blessings for everything you already have, and be happy with what you have. You don't have to buy things all the time to show off or just to make yourself happy. That doesn't really bring you any kind of bliss in your life at all. And the next tip is don't even go to the shopping malls ever. What's the point? If you go there, you will definitely find some kind of dress or shoes or bag or something that you really want, and you won't be able to stop thinking about it, and you really don't need that. Just avoid those places. As I said, I only go shopping twice a year during the sales, and I don't even step into any shopping center or any shop during the rest of the year, and that saves me money and gives me peace of mind. Next tip is cook at home as much as possible. If you have to eat lunch at work, bring your own. When I used to work at Harrods in London, I used to have lunch from home every single day. Even if it was just something simple like sandwiches, I almost always had my own lunches, and I saved so much money, because even if you spend, let's say, $5 on a lunch, if you add it up, 20 days a month, it's actually lots of money, and you could either use it to pay off your debts, or you could use it for a nice trip, or there's so many things you could do with that money. If you're going out to the beach or to a hike with your family or friends, bring a picnic. It's so much fun to bring some homemade bread, some cheese, some fruit, some nice ham, and here you go, you have a perfect lunch, and there's no need to spend any money on it. But of course, going out sometimes and taking a break from cooking is actually a really nice thing. So when we do, we like using special vouchers. Here in the Canaries, for example, there is this website called gustazos.com, where you can find special deals for restaurants or for any other kind of experiences, like special fun things, but mostly restaurants, and you can get 50% discounts for all of the restaurants on offer, which is brilliant, because you can get, let's say, a full nice lunch or dinner for 2 people with a starters, a main meal, and a dessert and a glass of wine for like 18 to 20 euros, which is really nothing, because if you went to the restaurant you would actually pay twice more. So we generally just get those vouchers, and in that way we get to explore new restaurants that we've never been to. We save money, we don't get nasty surprises at the end when the bill arrives, and we eat well. So we usually do that maybe every week or once in a couple of weeks. Next thing that we did a few months ago and saved us so much money is switching to a kind of 2-tier electricity rate. So basically, when you pay one price for daytime use and another price for the evening. So for example, in our case, the electricity in the evening and during the night is almost half price, and then during the day it's a little bit more expensive than usual. But in the end, we end up saving so much money, because we leave all of the important electricity using things for the night, like and it's not just night, it's really until midday. So I can do a lot of things in the morning, like taking showers, like starting the washing machine, warming up the water for washing dishes, and baking bread and things like that. I like doing most of these things during the morning, so I actually end up saving so much money. And when we did that, we went under 100 euros for 2 months for the first time. So it definitely saved us around 20 euros a month, which is awesome. And the last tip is about phones. So when you need a new phone, don't go for famous brands like Samsung or iPhone or any of those things, and don't sign up for long-term contracts to pay them off and blah blah blah, because you're going to spend so much money, while there's so many lesser known brands like Vita or Phone. They are amazing, and oftentimes they're even more powerful than the expensive brands, but they are at a fraction of the price. For example, I have a Vita, I have a Star 4G, Highway Star 4G, which is more powerful than almost any phone, for sure more powerful than iPhone. And I only paid, I think, 290 euros for it. And it's honestly brilliant. I love Vita phone so much. And then my husband has a Vita phone, which is a Russian phone. And it's the one with the two double screens, like one normal screen and the other one is like kind of like Kindle, with a kind of ink screen, which is really awesome in bright daylight. I only paid only 130 euros for it, because it's a 2-year-old model now. So you really don't need the newest, trendiest model, because you're going to spend so much money on it. And just by getting this kind of phones, we actually saved probably almost 1,000 euro for the two of us, which I think is amazing. So that's what we do. these are all of our tips on how we saved lots of money. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will also be making a video soon about how to put the law of attraction into practice. I don't know when exactly, because I'm going on a trip now and I'll be back in a while, so maybe in a month's time or something, but I'm definitely still working on it. It will definitely be up. I haven't forgotten about my promise to make it. So thanks so much for watching this one. I hope that you found it helpful, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Bye.